Hi there, Selective Collective. This is Kim. Hope you guys are doing well. It is cold here, by the way. It is so cold. I told you just about a few days ago it was like 70 to 80, and now it's back to, I'm wearing a very thick sweatshirt. It's crazy. I hope you are doing well where you're at. I've gotten some messages flowing in, and they're telling me it's Selective Collective. So let me just start. Let me just let it flow. So they were talking first about you all being part of a collective whose consciousness and your awareness of consciousness is expanding. And this is almost putting you in a different reality. Everything they're showing me, everything is overlaying. Okay, so they're showing me that a new Earth paradigm will be just like an overlay. It will still be functioning in the same area that everything else is going on, but there's greater awareness and understanding that you have. So it's giving you kind of like it's an ability, really. It's increasing your abilities to, no matter what's going on around, being able to easily detach and go to a state of, I want to say, kind of feel stress-free, even though there might be big things that are happening. There's a peace, there's like a solace that you have found where you work with the energy, and no matter what happens, there's so much trust in the fact that you know you're one with the universe, so you're working with it, and there's that awareness. It makes you the magician, that awareness. So I see this energy as them telling me to let you know that the energy is coming in waves to help people relieve anxiety. Like, anxiety was big. They were like, no more no more anxiety, or no more of this fear virus that puts people in an anxious state all the time. Once you have a broader awareness of your role as the magician in this world as a stage, it's a belief system that is expansive. So likely you've gone through a process of taking your beliefs and dropping them, analyzing them, and then rebuilding yourself. So okay, so yeah, so you might be finding that there are some people still who are still using the energy like you are, but they're at a certain level, and so they're only gonna go up, according to how much you kind of started with. So some people are just going to, sorry, I'm having to drink my coffee because it is truly that cold. Look how warm my coffee looks. Okay, so, and then they were talking about those belief systems that now it's time to take a look at the things that you have created, the belief systems that you have built based on this expanded consciousness and awareness of it that you have. Okay, and one is, in a sense, like the world is a stage, and this has become a big belief too, that we're working in some kind of, it feels like play at times. Sometimes it's a game that's hard, but it feels kind of like that. Like a simulation, but I feel like it's so much more spiritual than that gives it credit for. There's something very divine and unseen that's so powerful. It's what you're tapped into. So yeah, it can put you in the same situation as somebody else, but your perspective and your awareness is going to make you experience life completely differently. You're going to be the person that, if you had the flat tire and had to get assistance or help, there's going to be someone who remembers the flat tire and the anxiety or the anger that they felt when it happened, to the things that it interrupted, to how long the person took to get there, to when it finally wrapped up. But then your perspective is maybe going to be like, wow, well, surprising, but here we are. And so we do it, and we just go through the experience, just to experience it. But it's at this level where you're noticing everything good that is happening, and especially with the other energies that come and assist or help, how the universe worked with you. You might even notice animal spirits if wherever your car is parked, you know, and then get a meaning from that too. So you're on a different level is what they're saying, and you've like reached a level where if you are the magician in this game, you have some extra powers now. so they're saying to kind of like appreciate how far you've come so far. They were telling me about deja vu too. For some reason, it just as I'm kind of like trying to relax for this reading, the messages were coming in, and they said deja vu. Okay, and it was kind of like a sigh, because it got into talking about how the new earth and this earth, the new and old paradigms are basically overlaid. They're saying that the timelines are like that too, and the lives living are all overlaid too. Different frequencies, different dimensions, but overlaid in a sense. And when you notice deja vu, then you're tapping into a belief system that says everything happens in this now moment. Past, present, future. Time does not exist except for what we use it to measure with here, which is a life, right? So, but there's a belief here that's very expansive, that's tapping into eternity, that's tapping into where our divine soul is from, basically, you know, where we normally live, right? So they're saying that that is a sign that you're tapping into what the realization that you're on a certain timeline, that there might be a future outcome that is coming to remind you something is playing out the way that it is for a certain trajectory. So it's lined up, but no, they're saying, so that's a good sign of your gifts and abilities, and it coming from a belief system that's working for you. It is working for you. So yeah, so they're saying that, and then they're saying that, but at the same time, you could have deja vu from one timeline. You could easily have switched timelines by the end of the day. They're showing me like a bunch of lines blurring together, stacked, blurring together, and they're saying it's like this all the time. Shift, 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 shift. So it's when the awareness comes as to how powerful you are to shift every little thing in your life, then you become the magician and you become really good at it. Okay. So that's their other message, is that you're becoming really good at being the magician. And congratulations. All right. So I'm just pulling from the Cosmos Oracle to see if there's any cards. It probably went on a while, 8 minutes without cards. Well, yeah, the messages, like I said, the messages were just coming in. There's still worry and concern for what happens out there, and things like war and famine, right? And people experiencing extreme poverty. There's things to be concerned about. But when it comes to your personal experience and how anxiety can be like a big fear virus. I mean, it can really mess up the personal life too, if it's allowed to run rampant. But they're saying that there's an energy right now specifically supporting your awareness of the comfort system that is in place for you through your spirit team, through your divine spirit guides. All right. Okay, that's interesting. The dark nebula and then the troposphere. I'm getting, with those two cards, can you see them good? Let's see. I'm getting with those two cards, that dark nebula is talking about when there is a massive cloud, dark cloud, that obstructs the light from all of the stars. So It's the dark cloud. Basically, it's like the Charlie Brown dark cloud that comes in, you know. It's like that. But the reason I laughed is because the troposphere is the perfect conditions for life, the perfect conditions for growing something. Okay, water, air, soil. It's talking about that. But that's why they're saying this dark nebula is kind of shielding the fact that there's a perfect opportunity in it. So for a lot of you all going through maybe even very dark experiences of transition where the 3D is very like, oh no, you know, it's daunting, right? It can be daunting. It can be like we could get into a place of perspective where we don't feel like there would possibly be big opportunities for growth, but there is. And maybe not even seeing something that's in gestation already. So then I have sidereal space with the aurora polaris. So the aurora polaris is like the borealis. It's talking about the term that means those colors in the sky that come around anywhere on the earth. I think geomagnetic energy or geomagnetic storms can affect where they're at. I think lots of things like that affect, but it is the beautiful dance, the cosmic dance in the sky. And sidereal space means out there, belonging to the planet and the stars out there, right? Yeah, here's this density card, but I think it has to do with them being here at a specific time, especially when the energy is really strong, to help you overcome the heaviness of the 3D dense experience. Okay, helping you with that. So there's this sidereal space. Let me go back to it because it's belonging to the planet and the stars. But oh, I know what it is. Okay, it talks about you knowing that there is a higher power and of course that's a belief. So you have to ask yourself if that's your belief. It is my belief. So I'm going to say that yes, there are things that happen externally, but there's also like this consciousness or awareness of it that goes farther infinitely. So you always have the ability to kind of like progress or have that view of progression. So something vast, unexplored, and kind of like totally out of our control is bringing in the aurora polaris, which is a really beautiful sight to see. And then you have the stratosphere and you have infinity. Wow. Wow. This is what they're saying that you're blessed with. Truly, it is. This is what they're saying that you are blessed with, is the knowledge that you are infinite and you are an eternal soul. I don't think you realize how strong or how big of a difference that will make in your life experience, to anchor that in as a belief, because it's a forever thing. And they're saying that the stratosphere here means you're infinitely protected and blessed with perfect balance, certainty, and protection. Be grateful. Open the portal 333. It says, and I have seen 333 recently, at least maybe the last 2 days. I've seen it a few times. So they're saying that everything, when it comes back to the center, goes back around, everything gets balanced. Absolutely everything, right? So that's what you should expect, is protection, balance, and certainty, that you're forever held in that balance and in that love. It's the loving grace of, the Most High, the Source Creator, that you're part of. And I do feel like you contain a whole of that within yourself. I lean towards the hologram belief. So I think it has a lot of things to back it up. But again, it's one of those things I had to go over to figure out, is that how I really believe? Why do I believe it? And I did my own research. So, whoo, oh goodness, solar flares, tipping point before the loss of stability. Flares are characterized by emotions with a lot of sudden energy. They can implode. So you would be good with this energy if it is a tipping point. So there is a really strong energy being sent your way with the solar flares. Can actually be through the solar flares, which you heard me last time. This is solar cycle 25. We're halfway through it, so we're at the peak of its intensity this year, in particular this year. So I think those things are actually having changes within us, but they're saying integrate your masculine, your feminine energy the best that you can, so you can direct this energy to a point of action. So you're kind of taking the energy that's given to you, and then you're deciding where it goes, what to do with it. And the magnetic field. That's interesting. Because, yeah, I was going to say that's going to be every time things are high with the magnetic field, freaky things can happen. Strange things can happen. That's just how I have it in my mind. So they're saying the magnetic field is the space where things can happen, the force field around you. So, I think it's a tipping point for this reality that's very, very dense, that doesn't, with like things being unequal to an extreme amount, and suffering and things like that. I just have a feeling that those things are going to be, that energy that supports it is going to be on its way out, or on its way to be more balanced, now that there's more people that really don't want to live around those kind of big issues. Like, if we have the ability to change it, then, well, we all could if we all work together. But the knowing that you have to work on yourself first is this beautiful, honestly, a tipping point for humanity, where a lot of people are very in tune with how they feel as moved by their spirit. And that's, to me, important. Not to everybody, but maybe to you too. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. So those of you that have, well, that's everybody. I was going to say, those of you that have part in this divine plan, but I already know it's going to be everybody. There's things that you have gone through. There's sacrifices you made. There also was an experience possibly that really has, you were down for the cause when it came to, no, I have my faith no matter what's happening to me, whatever experience I go, that you never let go of that. That's your, so I say protection here, you're protected. So no matter what branch you branch out to, if it's, some of you are just spiritual, maybe some of you all even, have things like Bastet or Isis, or, there's a lot of different energy people that come to these readings. But whatever it is, I still feel like it's part of this overall divine plan. And you play your part, and you're playing it well. So you're protected, and there's something here about knowing there must be something bigger, and truly there's really, I don't know, there's nothing bigger here than being able to be a part of the shift in awareness and consciousness right now, the elevation of it. That is, you doing it yourself is opening up lines on that divine crystalline divine matrix, that grid that people can connect to. And so your light and your awareness provides connection points for other people. Maybe that's something you don't see yet with that dark nebula, or it's like not evidence that the stars are behind there, but they are. I have the microphone too. So I have the microphone with news, trending, broadcast, expression, a strong opinion to make known current events, purpose driven with the cross, and then being heard, so your voice is amplified. I'm not really surprised that actually came out next, because it mentioned something about Isis, didn't I? And Isis is it was Isis and Osiris, right? Egypt, and she wasn't known for writing a lot of her stuff down. Like, what she was known for was speaking out loud. It was almost like in a song or a brief poem. What she affirmed to be true. She raised the dead and made them her army, okay, to avenge Osiris with her words, with her powerful affirmation of, this is what I want to happen. Like, so I feel like there's a connection here with you and your purpose, and you being very powerful, what you speak out loud being very powerful at this time too. Oh, nice. Even in the dark nebula, or even when you can't see the light or you don't feel the light present much, they're wanting you to be as a child, feel the lightness of being, and experience no worries. And they want you to know that that's what this is headed towards for you. You already probably have a perspective of, you don't need to be worried about anything, even death itself, right? You don't need to be worried. So Airplane says, travel long distance, speed, overcome, rise up, freedom, no boundaries, breaking free, things work out, leave it behind. The Airplane. So the cross, the microphone, being like a child, no worries, and eventually transcending these earthly issues, transcending even the lower consciousness that's muddying things up a little bit from here and there. Okay, so that's what I have for you all. If you like a private reading, I do offer pre-recorded videos with the private link, and that information is in the description box below. Thank you all for supporting with those private readings. Appreciate you. Make sure you put in the notes section at checkout what you want the reading to be about. And I'll see you next time. Sending you love and light. Bye.